Michael's hands were shaking as he smoothed down his only decent shirt. A blind date. At his age, with a 6-year-old daughter at home and barely enough money to cover rent, he felt ridiculous. But his sister had insisted, practically begging him to give love another chance. He hadn't been on a date since his wife passed 3 years ago. Walking into that quiet café, he spotted her immediately. A woman in an elegant business suit, her face buried in her hands, shoulders trembling. She was crying. His heart sank. This had to be her. This had to be the woman his sister set him up with. And she was already in tears before they'd even spoken a word. If you believe in the power of kindness and the unexpected moments that change our lives forever, you're in the right place. Welcome to Kindness World, where we share true stories that touch the heart and restore faith in humanity. Please hit that subscribe button, give us a like, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your support means everything to us. Now, let me tell you what happened next. Michael stood frozen for a moment, unsure whether to approach or quietly slip away. But something pulled him forward. Maybe it was the loneliness he recognized in her posture, or maybe it was simply who he was, a man who couldn't walk past someone in pain. He walked to her table slowly and cleared his throat gently. She looked up, mascara streaked down her cheeks, her eyes red and swollen. For a second, neither of them spoke. Then she laughed, a broken, embarrassed sound, and wiped at her face with a crumpled napkin. I'm so sorry, she whispered. You must be Michael. I'm Rebecca. This is not how I imagined this going. He sat down across from her, his own nervousness melting into concern. It's okay, he said softly. Bad day? She nodded, taking a shaky breath. You could say that. I just came from the hospital. My father, he's not doing well. And I didn't know where else to go. My sister thought maybe getting out would help, but now I just feel foolish. Michael reached across the table, not touching her, just close enough to show he was there. You're not foolish. Life is hard. We all need a moment to fall apart sometimes. She looked at him with surprise, as if kindness was the last thing she expected. They talked for hours. Not about romance or first date pleasantries, but about real things. Loss. Fear. Responsibility. She told him she was a CEO of a marketing firm, a position that sounded impossibly far from his world of double shifts at the warehouse and peanut butter sandwiches for dinner. But when she spoke about the pressure, the loneliness at the top, the weight of everyone depending on her, he understood. He knew what it was like to carry a world on your shoulders. He told her about his daughter, Emma. How she still cried for her mom some nights. How he read her the same bedtime story over and over because it was the one her mother used to read. How he worked 2 jobs just to keep the lights on and prayed every day he was enough for her. Rebecca listened like every word mattered. She didn't pity him. She saw him. And that was something Michael hadn't felt in a very long time. As the evening grew late, Rebecca insisted on walking him to his car. It was an old beat-up sedan with a car seat in the back and a crack across the windshield. He felt a flash of shame, but she didn't even seem to notice. She stopped beside the car and looked at him with an intensity that made his chest tighten. Michael, she said quietly, I need to tell you something. He braced himself. Here it comes, he thought. The polite rejection. The thanks but no thanks. But what she said next hit him like a punch to the gut. I'm dying, she whispered. The words seemed to echo in the empty parking lot. I have a rare illness. The doctors say I have maybe a year, possibly less. That's why I was crying tonight. That's why my sister set this up. She thought maybe I deserved one last chance at something real before it's too late. Michael felt his world tilt. He didn't know what to say. What could anyone say to that? But Rebecca kept talking, her voice steadier now. I don't expect anything from you. I wanted to be honest. You were so kind to me tonight. You didn't have to be. You could have walked away when you saw me crying. But you stayed. And I haven't felt that seen, that human, in so long. Tears burned in Michael's eyes. Without thinking, he pulled her into a hug. She stiffened for a moment, then melted into it, her body shaking with silent sobs. "I'm so sorry," he whispered into her hair. "I'm so sorry." They stood like that for a long time, two broken people holding each other up under the stars. In the weeks that followed, something beautiful and unexpected unfolded. They kept seeing each other. Not as a traditional couple, but as two souls who understood pain and chose to face it together. Rebecca met Emma, and the little girl fell in love with her immediately. Rebecca would come over for dinner, help with homework, read bedtime stories in funny voices that made Emma giggle until she hiccuped. Michael learned that Rebecca had no family besides her ailing father and her sister. She'd spent her whole life building a career, sacrificing everything personal for professional success. And now, with time running out, all she wanted was to feel like she mattered to someone beyond a boardroom. Michael showed her that she did. He showed her that kindness wasn't about grand gestures or money or status. It was about showing up. Listening. Caring. Being present. And Rebecca gave him something too. She helped him see that his life, his small, struggling, beautiful life, was enough. That being a loving father, working hard, doing his best, that was heroic in its own right. When Rebecca passed away 8 months later, she left behind a letter for Michael and Emma. In it, she thanked them for giving her the most meaningful months of her life. She also left a trust fund for Emma's education and a note that said simply, "Teach her that kindness is the only currency that truly matters." Michael keeps that letter on his bedside table. And every night, after he reads Emma her bedtime story, he reminds her of the woman who taught them both that love and kindness can bloom even in the darkest seasons. That sometimes the greatest gift we can give is simply to see someone, truly see them, and choose to stay.